So imagine waking up one night and hearing your dogs crying in agony, right? Scary. That's what happened to us one cold, dark night when we lived in this house in Moreno Valley, California. I don't know if you've heard of it, but yeah, that whole city is scary as shit. So one night we woke up, my mom was screaming at my dad that our dogs were crying. And, we've had a bunch of paranormal weird events happen to us in this house before. So the night that we woke up and my mom was telling my dad to go check on our dogs, we heard the dogs crying on the side of the house where the old chain link fence was. So my dad gets up, he's walking out to the front door, and us as kids, we go follow, curious to see what's going on. And my dad walks out, and mind you, the only light we have is the light from our front door. Our street didn't have any street lights, it was super dark. And when he turned to the left, to his surprise, he saw a tall looking man, dressed in a dirty looking trench coat, and he was hitting our dogs with a chain. And my dad screamed at him hey, what the are you doing, hitting my dogs, off my property, And we're looking at this man, and we just see a dark figure. We can't see his face, and he just stood there for a few seconds, and he started walking down the driveway. And as you could tell, the driveway is pretty long. But when we lived in this house, we had bigger bushes on the side of the driveway where it was big walls, flower walls. So we see this guy, he starts walking down the driveway, but we noticed that he didn't have any feet. He didn't have any legs. He was floating down our driveway. So we all kind of got scared. We're what the he's just floating down the driveway. So we're following him, and he made a left at the end of our driveway, and we just saw this guy disappear. Just disappear. So, scary as shit. And we're thinking that it was Demon Man just hitting our dogs, with a chain. And then we see this floating down the driveway and just disappear. So, yeah. Another situation that we had in this house that we were one night sitting at our island in the kitchen. My mom was cooking, and we're sitting on the bar stools, and out of nowhere my mom just sees a big black dog walk behind my dad and my brother. And from the kitchen there was a door that leads into the garage, and we follow the dog. We see this big black dog, and we follow the dog into the garage, and he just sitting there staring with fire eyes. His eyes were fire. So we just kind of freak out and run back in from the garage into the kitchen, slam the door, and we're just what the hell's going on? So I don't know. What are your thoughts? What do you think this was? I know for a fact our house was haunted. We would always see objects moving, falling on the floor, just getting a really bad, eerie feeling, a sense of not being alone in our house, So if you have any scary stories of Moreno Valley, let me know. I would like to hear them all.